Hey, this is the RadioMaster TX16S. I just got this yesterday. I'm an FR Sky user, but I'm also a Graupner user. This radio costs $130 and includes Hall effect gimbals. It's a touch screen, color. It's 16 channels. Overall, I think it's pretty well made. It's comfortable in your hands. I went and flew it today with a S8R FR Sky receiver. Everything worked fine on it. But what I want to talk about briefly is when I first fired this radio up, and if you go into the system menu, what really surprised me was right there, Graupner Hott. I am also a Graupner user. I have an MZ24 Pro, and as many probably know, Graupner has closed up shop in the United States, and they have a new owner. And right now, Graupner users are kind of in limbo. We don't know what's going to happen. But here's another way to keep using your Graupner receivers if your transmitter's broke. This works. If we go to the main menu and we hit Model, I was able to bind a Hott receiver. You just pick mode multi and then scroll over, and this thing can do a lot of different types of receivers. It does Spectrum, it does the high-tech Optima series. There was a rather lengthy list of different receivers that it supports. You then go down to the bind, press that, do the normal bind on a Graupner receiver, which is just holding the button in for about 5 seconds. It bound up easily. It was no big deal. But what's really cool is the Lewis script. If we go out here, go back to the system menu, go down here to Graupner, press that button. Anybody who's a Graupner user will be very familiar with this screen. I was very surprised. These are all of the Graupner menus that the receiver brings back to the Graupner radio. Well, you've got them all here on your RadioMaster screen. So you can program all of the internals on the receiver from this radio with the Lewis script. I was really surprised that this works. So the only caveat so far that I can't figure out if it's going to work or not is, let's go back to the model section, and if we go over to telemetry, I did a discovery of what sensors it would see, and this was the only bad news that I found. I have a Vario hooked up. Oh, this is a GR16L that I'm using for the test, and on the telemetry port here, I've got their little Vario sensor, because I fly a lot of sailplanes. The Vario is not showing up in this menu, so I don't know if they're going to support external sensors or not. Right now, I don't see it. I also have a different Graupner receiver that has an internal Vario that also was not seen. So it's possible they don't support the Varios. There's other sensors. I have no idea if they're going to work or not. So that's the only issue so far. Now, I have not actually tried to fly an airplane with a Graupner receiver and the RadioMaster. It's something that I'm going to try, but I just wanted to show people that this is very interesting how this supports other brands of receivers.